Electricity will make it weird science.
This week felt like another short week because we only had one class period with David. This was the week where we finally got a chance to start our project construction. After thinking about it, dreading it, and planning for it, it was finally time to get our hands dirty, or electrocuted in this case. This week wrapped up our lectures for this first portion and got us right into application. Unfortunately, this application was quickly followed by anxiety and panic for the looming due date. On Monday, we began class by playing with the voltage meters. We tested circuits using varying numbers and types of bulbs. We then took the voltage and amp readings and used this data to calculate ohms, resistance, and power. Next, we took the post-assessment quiz and did a flip chart discussion on magnetism. After our round-robin discussion, we got to play with magnets. We tested what magnets are and are not attracted to. After a few minutes of experimentation, David did a couple demonstrations. The first began with a long aluminum tube. David slid a regular plug and a magnetic plug through the tube. The regular plug slid through with no problem, while the magnetic plug crept through the tube very slowly. The second demonstration began with a magnetic pendulum. David swung it normally and timed how long it took for it to come to a stop. Next, David placed a sheet of copper underneath the pendulum and swung it again. With the copper sheet underneath, the pendulum came to a stop much quicker. David left it up to us to figure out why this happened. On Wednesday, David was not in class, so everyone just worked in their groups on their project. My group worked on constructing our coil guns and trying to piece together our TIMs. In between class, we had a quiz on magnetism, and I worked on my notebook and group project. Monday's class had a lot of information, most of which I did not really understand. Nonetheless, the calculations will be important for my TIM, and the information on Ohm's law is one of the main topics that this project covers. The calculations seem pretty straightforward. The only variable may be the reads from the voltage meter. As for my topics, they still need a little straightening out before I have full comprehension. Wednesday showed me just how much work my group has to complete by next week. We have very little time and a lot of work to accomplish. Next week will be very important in terms of getting work accomplished and tying up any loose ends. And the quiz in between class did nothing to boost my confidence. It only showed me how much I don't understand and how much extra studying I need to do to catch up. Our class time has clearly not been sufficient for me to learn or understand the material. Now my group just needs to figure out this project and get everything together. We are all still very confused on what needs to be included, what topics fit into our section, and what visuals we need to include. Next week we'll have to really grill David on our TIM to make sure we know what we are doing. Hopefully he will give the class an extension on our first project because all the other groups appear to be just as far behind as we are. Just the coil gun construction alone takes a lot of time. We all feel lost and confused, and that is always an uncomfortable and unsettling place to be in. It is hard to complete an assignment when you're not even sure what the assignment is. This week seemed to go quickly and it almost feels like a blur. I feel like yesterday I was on top of all my work and now I am weeks behind. What happened? Hopefully next week will relieve some of my anxiety and help get me back on track. I just have to keep working and helping out my group with completing our project. We are a good group who seem to work well together. This will hopefully make for a low stress and productive week ahead.
Things that make you go